Hi everyone, and welcome to The Grind. As you all know, we have a weekly show that we talk about, just a sermon. But this week we're doing something different. We are joined by our lovely staff right here. So we have a live audience.
Everyone
it's great.
is here.
I say staff represent. And so, we all know that, that in this season we have received something great besides the death of Jesus. We received the consumption vouchers. And, a great amount of money in our lives, $5,000, $5,000 to come.
It's not 5,000 anymore. It's spent.
I mean, 5,000 now,
Yeah.
5,000 to come. So in the end, 10,000. But right now we got to think be strategic, about how to spend our $5,000. Now, so we decided to, start off today's grind session again with another rendition of "The Price Is Aight." So
For copyright reasons, we can't use the prices.
Yeah, because copyright issues. So we come up with our version. The price is aight. All right. Do we have our first item on the list? First item is yes. The price is aight. A bottle of ketchup. How much would it cost? Discuss it within your group. All right.
Wait,
Dude, I haven't gotten a ketchup in our house for a while.
I don't know. Depends. Heinz tomato ketchup.
Wait, specifically Heinz.
Heinz. Okay. Let's get.
Shall we just go clockwise?
Yeah, go
around the
clockwise.
room?
We'll go clockwise. We'll start with Pastor Ken's group. 17. 15. All right. Jono's group? 17. So we got two 17s. Byron? 38.
What?
38?
38? What are you buying, man?
Are you buying this from the A&M Club, the American store?
I think we're in economic crisis if it hits 38.
All right.
We are laughing, maybe that's the right answer.
Maybe that's the right answer. We're just okay. Katrina's group. 12. Pastor Hilda's group. 16. 16.
Okay, everyone.
All right. Nathan, what'd you get? 1890. I put
Yo,
10.
1850.
I put
Why?
1090. I
we
don't
have
know.
the
Maybe on the
price?
discount or clearance. And cost is.
The real prices?
Real cost is.
Are
$8.
you serious?
You won.
I won. I won for 1090. I won.
I like how you're so excited about that.
I meant $8.90.
All right, next one. I can't make coffee. Oh wait, I forgot to blur out the answer.
Yeah, I was like thinking, why are the prices there?
The price. This one, the price is right.
It's the perils of doing this live.
Let me guess.
I think it's 30. Is it 10? I don't know. All right.
Oh, I miss Big Bite.
In remembrance of Big
man.
Bite.
May the big bite rest
In
peace.
memory of Big Bite. Oh man, I miss Big Bite.
I know,
You guys
I'm
will
very
have
now.
to.
Wings night.
All right. Ready? Okay. Let's go this side. 75 at the back. 70. 75. He says with confidence. I think he's right. 68. Was that? 68. 68? 70. 70? 72. I feel like
And 1, 2,
2,
3.
3. I put 55.
I put 80.
80.
I was thinking like the really big. I'm definitely wrong. I am definitely wrong. How about Big Bite like 5 years ago, huh?
It's not nomad.
65.
What?
See, I'm only $10 off. So technically, who's the closest? I think it's who's the closest? Pastor Pokemon's group. 68. Wow. Okay, score. Okay. All right.
Okay, let's go to our last one.
Last one.
Corrupt coffee machine.
Maybe. Oh,
Oh no.
this is the one in
Oh, the one-
pantry.
yeah,
Hey, Rico,
yeah.
how much is it?
I have no idea. I didn't buy that.
Pastor Jarminan.
John, how much does this cost?
How much is this?
It's a matchbox shape.
I'm just gonna go with this. Okay, all right, okay.
Yeah, just a
All
ballpark.
right, let's go. 2005. Next group. 25. 27. 3000. 1008. 2000. Man, I kind of want
Okay,
to just like
let's
erase.
see.
I think I should change it. 3003. Wow, it's so specific.
How much?
And the cost
That
is
is
3,109.
But you guys are actually really close.
You're the closest.
I'm the closest again.
You have fluked your way through this game.
I have definitely
Yeah.
looked my way through this game because I added a little thing.
Are you sure you've been quarantined?
Yeah, I did my research, in terms of how to best spend my money. So, wow, okay. I like to say it's safe to say that I'm the winner this time around. So,
Fine.
But thank you all for participating in our game.
Yeah, I am not a good judge of prices.
I think maybe for more expensive stuff, but yeah. But anyways, cool. All right, so let me just put this back. Put it on the floor. All right, so I guess in the spirit of Easter, we're talking about obviously the price that Jesus paid on the cross, and I think it just gets us to put things into perspective, right? What really is sacrifice, what really is cost, and so what's something that you've invested effort, time, and money, and it was well worth it? What's something that you've invested effort, time, or money, and it was well worth it? Well worth it.
Yeah, I was thinking about family. I remember growing up, my aunts and uncles, my mom and dad, they always invested time in gathering and spending time with each other. And so for me personally, also investing time and money and effort into my immediate family here in Hong Kong.
And Pastor Ed had a really good answer just now. I'm just going to have you repeat that one more time.
I know that's the answer you want to hear. My staff.
Ew.
Yeah, we gladly accept. We are worthwhile investments, everybody.
Yep.
So, guys, how about you guys?
I think for me,
I think for me,
You think
Yeah.
for you?
the one that I invested that I really felt was worth it was Rachel's first sofa. When she
Rachel's first sofa.
Yeah, so basically when she decided to be independent, I decided to buy her a sofa.
Wow.
It was a custom made one, so we managed to use it until we got married, and then we used it when we moved to our own house.
I've
So
never
that was
heard of a guy buying his girlfriend
furniture.
furniture.
I'm practical, so
Because you can use it too, right?
yeah, exactly.
I see.
Oh, man. Do I really have to follow him?
Yes, you do.
Okay, no, my comic book collection.
Comic-
So worth it. So much time
Yes, we can
and
see.
money, but it's so much enjoyment.
It is true. I've got two answers to this. The spiritual answer is, youth ministry. Spending time, investing in the youth. That's really great. Another thing is, when I was a youth, I was involved with a school production called Joseph and Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, and I was in the children's choir. And I was just singing the same lines and same notes, but it was worth it because when you see it at the end, it was just so much fun. When I got the thumbs up from the teacher for singing really cheesy, really well, I was so proud. That thumbs up from that teacher, my drama teacher. So that for me was worth it. Just to see the whole production, even though my part was small, that was fun. All right, so let's go a little bit deeper with the next question. If effort, time, and money wasn't an issue, what would you do with your life?
All right, someone from the pastor's group.
The pastors are passing their mics.
Yeah, the pastors are passing.
I'm too tired of holding this mic.
They're all so polite. This is-
Yeah, because it's husbands clubs. What we think, the first thing is wife. Otherwise,
Wow.
we got trouble.
Model.
Model answer.
Yeah, according to Pastor Fron, I'm a house speaker. If nothing about money, time, and effort, we have healthy, we have a lot of money, we have a lot of time. Pastor Fron will bring Pastor Betty traveling all around the world.
I think you need to include if quarantine wasn't an issue as well.
Yes.
Then yes.
And the best part is they didn't include their kids.
They didn't include the children.
Such a good answer. We know what the priorities are.
All right. How about you guys?
So
How about you guys?
I think would be the same thing. Traveling with family, and then to contribute with the world, probably do missions. That's what I think.
Again, I have to follow that.
I mean, you can follow me
no,
because
no,
I
no.
was gonna say the same thing.
I would probably go back and do my coaching licenses.
Coaching.
Yeah,
Coaching?
football coaching.
Tell us more about coaching. What?
So you have different levels, right? And I would do like my FA county, my FA national, then my European licenses and get a pro license.
Oh, so as the coaching.
By Liverpool.
Oh my goodness,
That's so much money.
Liverpool manager right here. Oh, that would be kind of amazing.
So that way, I'm not waking up at 4 a.m. to watch the Champions League. I'm there at a reasonable time.
You'll just say, I want a championship league right
Yeah.
now. Just, yeah.
And they.
Yeah, and then I come away with a Champions League medal. Yeah, that's the dream.
Yeah, I mean, like I love travel too, and I would want to travel around the world and everything. And I think also like something that I love is like missions, and I love always like going on missions trips and just see how God moves. And I love coffee too, and I love like cafes, how like there's opportunities for people to chat. So I think if time, effort, and money was an issue, it would be awesome to like set up a cafe, and just like create a space for people to come and be comfortable, and then just get to learn and talk with the locals and stuff like that. So I think that would be something
Well, that's
fun
nice.
to do. Kind of like travel and like open up coffee shops and stuff like that. But anyways, that would be something.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. So I think like I suppose like when Jesus looked at us, he invested a lot of time, money, and effort, right, with his people. And I think he saw us as a worthwhile investment to obviously pay the price on the cross for us. And so here's the next question to talk about is at what point in your life did Jesus become real for you? So the question is like, what's a turning point in your life where Jesus became real for you? A turning point.
Jacob. Sorry to interrupt. Sorry, I crept in like
Nice.
from outside.
Definitely many moments on Sunday where I listen to the sermons of Pastor Ed. and then of course
Worthwhile investment right there.
That's why Pastor Ed invested in his staff.
and also where there was one time when Jesus appeared to me in the visions. That really changes everything. Yeah.
Wow,
So-
Jesus appearing. Want to tell us a little bit more about Jesus appearing to you in a vision?
I think I was just reading the Bible, Luke 5, where Jesus calling the disciples, and then suddenly Peter realizes the man before him is not ordinary man, and then he recognized that he's a sinner. So I think the first encounter with Jesus is not that he was so powerful, he was so miraculous, like he was so magnificent. Well, even though he is, but I think the very first feeling is coming to repentance, knowing that how filthy I was. And I sensed the holiness of Jesus. And so, the passage says that Peter says to Jesus, get away from me, Lord, for I'm a sinner. So that's the encounter I had with Jesus. I saw the holiness of Jesus and my filthiness in the past. And so I repented at that moment, and that really changes everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
So,
that's good. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
yeah.
No, all right. So I guess I think for me, a turning point. I think there were many turning points in my life, but then my turning points had U-turns. So I would turn back, to just thinking the same way and everything. And I think when I finally turned, to really look towards God and just really decide to hey, this is Him and He's real, is when I encountered the Father's love. I think that's why the father heart of God really speaks to me. It's just understanding that this is a Father who loves me so much, even though I'm just unworthy and I'm not exactly it's Katrina, right? It's not anything specific, special. And I think just a moment where I realized that wow, He loves me so much. I think that was a turning point, and I think that's when I just okay, yep, He's worth it, and I wanted to just live my life for Him.
You go, bro.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, similar to Patricia, when you grow up in a Christian family, it's hard to find the turning point because you turn so many corners. You might as well be on a roundabout. Because you go to worship, you feel the presence of God, but what's the tangible point? And for me, that was it was actually during an exam because
Exam?
well, after the exam,
Oh.
because all through the semester I had been failing this subject so hard. even like my teachers were like, "Hey, this kid." But when we got to the final, I kind of just blitzed through it without thinking, and then the results came back, and I jumped 5 grades in the end.
Wow.
Wow.
So the Spirit of the Lord came upon you.
Yeah, and I
you
wrote
really
it.
just-
Yeah, the Spirit of
wisdom
the
of the
Lord
Holy
came
Spirit.
upon me, and I wrote about fascist Italy.
Wow.
So like, yeah, the teacher went from, "Hey, this kid," to "What? This kid? What happened?" And I can't explain it. It was like a tangible thing. Like when you're 16, that is what a miracle looks like. So yeah.
Actually, yeah, that would be. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah.
So I think for me, would, would be actually like you said, guys. There's a lot of turning points in our lives, but for me was more. It's a bit more recent. So just recently, like February last month, last February, I had a checkup and they were looking up for my physical checkup and it was really high. It was really high. Like my high blood pressure was like 180 by 110, and it was pretty serious. Yeah, it's really serious, and it was so bad that the doctor was so worried for me because it's like hypertensive crisis. It's like an emergency bed. But then I sort of like had to change my lifestyle, and I felt like during that time the Lord has been guiding me, and He's actually been looking out for me, which is crazy because I didn't expect that I would actually lose weight for the past month. Actually, during that time I was like 77 kilos, and now I'm like 66 point something. And for me, I felt that was pretty crazy. Though I still need to be careful not to lose too much weight. But I know that the Lord did something in my life because my lifestyle changed so drastically because He was looking out for me. So yeah, so that one for me, I felt like was like a life-changing experience and an experience with Him. So yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Dude, you shrunk.
Yeah, you shrunk. You know, like how people put on weight during COVID. It was the other way around for you.
So yeah.
But no, that's good to hear, like that turning point. And I think when it comes to like Jesus working in our lives, something has to be in a way to die, right? To put to death, because we were like crucified with self and everything. And actually, just interesting enough, yesterday I was just kind of like googling stuff, and I just realized that actually the phrase "die to self" never appeared in the Bible. Like the whole concept of crucified with self, yeah, but not die to self.
My life is a lie.
I know, right? It's like you just grew up thinking like, die to self, die to self. But I know with that being said, like, I think for us, when we have our encounter with Jesus, there's something that needs to also die, right? To put,
Yeah.
And so what are some things that you had to like, in a way, put down,
My
I guess to-
diet. Like I've been having like 3 people portion. Now I'm like going back to 1 people portion.
I mean, that's just normal, Just welcome to normal life. 3 people portion.
I think the trajectory of my life, like, when you're young, you have a whole plan, like a life plan ahead of you. And at some point, I think I just had to like let that go because I felt called to come back to Hong Kong for whatever reason. I think the guise was go be with your family. And I think I have used that time quite well. I don't regret coming back. And even though sometimes I think about, had I stayed in the UK, what would I have done? I don't know, but at the time it felt right to come back, and I'm glad I did. So, yeah, just that whole life plan I've kind of flipped on its head, if that makes sense.
I think same thing as well. Like, I never thought I'll come back to Hong Kong, and I thought I would just be out here for the rest of my life, and I thought I was gonna settle like, after missions in Singapore, and I was just fighting God to come back, to Hong Kong, but ended up coming back here, and I think I had to lay that down, like my plans, what I thought was best for me, and I think, it was a good trajectory to come back to Hong Kong, and I think in this couple years, God has really taught me to also like put to death, like just even how I carry myself. Sometimes I have this train of like negativity that sometimes I can be quite negative towards people, or even like I have a need to win, as you guys can tell from the game.
What?
But sometimes I put winning like and would put competition so high in the sense that my desires to beat people to prove that I'm better than people, to kind of, I guess it was going off of a lie that I've always believed that I was never good enough. And so I always had to like, to work harder to just, be better, to win. And I think that, seeped into like my everyday life. And I think over the years actually being in Hong Kong kind of just helped, turn that around. And so I had to put to death like just my pride and the desire to win all the time. So, I mean, obviously win in a healthy amount, but I'm still competitive, just not crazy. That's all. But
For me, probably my old lifestyle. Yeah, that one is something that I think died in a way because it's like a reminder also, like the experience that I had. I mean, of course, I want to be healthy for myself, but at the same time, you want to be healthy for the people around you. And like what Pastor Ed said, one of the things that is the sense of urgency to share the gospel. And if I'm dead, how am I going to be sharing the gospel? So I think that one is a reminder. So, yeah.
So yeah, I guess as we wrap up today's grind, I think something to think about is, I guess, in the spirit of Easter, it's like the sacrifice that Jesus made, and also our own personal sacrifices as well to be where we're at right now. Even the cost of following Jesus, what does it look like to take up the cross, and some things that we have to put to death in our own lives too. And I think also with COVID, it's also taught us, things that the price we had to pay for certain things, like the price to pay for being in quarantine, the price to pay for just like different things, sacrifices. We had to sacrifice like our quote unquote freedom. We had to sacrifice, just not doing the things that we were used to. And I think in a way, like for me, this has taught me like, okay, well, how do I live my life with, I guess, restrictions placed upon me, right? Do I let this, curb me down, hold me down, like, oh, I can't do this because, of COVID? Or do I see this as an opportunity to really, still step forth, and be faithful to the calling that God's placed upon my life? Because I think Pastor Red, like, said, wherever there's an obstacle, there's opportunities. And so actually, I think, thinking, like, seeing that, the price that Jesus paid for us, right, is an opportunity for us to also, like, use this, this start that we have, this
sort of paid forward, right?
Yeah, it's very paid for. So, like, why don't we just go for it, right? See it as opportunities to really, bring the good news, be a blessing, bring God's goodness. And so I think, sometimes when we look at COVID, we look at the cost, what it's cost us. But let's look at it as, opportunities. So with that being said, I think that wraps up about, the
It's a
episode
good
of The
spot
Grind.
to wrap it up, yeah?
Yeah. So again, thank you for being part of our Grind show today. And to all those who are joining us online, we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.